Iran is a force to be, if we really look at it, at the end of the day, Iran is a failed state, with a terrible economy, with a non-functioning army. They have a rocket system in order to shoot at us, but what they really have are proxies. This oil and gas-rich nation that could have taken all that money in order to support its citizens and make their lives better has used it all in order to strengthen up proxies all over the Middle East. We've seen Iran work abroad with terror attacks in Bulgaria, in Argentina. Iran is heavily involved in terror attacks in Lebanon as well, and in Syria. It has become a force of destruction throughout the world using the oil and gas money that it has. It's fighting for its life at the moment because its plans are failing. Hamas has failed in Gaza. Hezbollah is failing in Lebanon. The Houthis are failing in Yemen. All the plans and the infrastructure that they have built for the one day they wanted to destroy Israel are failing.
How is the situation in Israel? Please elaborate about situation, current situation. We hear about sirens and all. So please.
Well, you've been to Israel for a couple of days now. You've probably heard the sirens yourself. Yesterday in the center of Israel, today in the Haifa region, more than 100 rockets shot from Lebanon. Yesterday from Gaza. So as you can understand, we are surrounded by rockets, and not just Lebanon and Gaza. A couple of weeks ago, we had Iran shoot rockets at us, and Yemen, of course, shooting as well. We look at it as a seven-front assault on Israel. The situation is very flexible. We're currently with the upper hand. Israeli army is a very strong force and is able to deter any rockets coming towards Israel or any terrorists coming towards our borders. We're attacking both in the south and in the north with our military in order to deter any kind of terrorist attack and to deter the terrorists from our borders.
Your defense system is a seven front against you. So how you see in terms of coming days, because they are all attacking by rocket and all.
Yeah, so our air defense system is quite strong. It's able to hold back any attack coming from the air. Both the Iron Dome, the David Sling, and the Arrow 3 defense systems have proven themselves to be worthy defense systems. We know that more missiles and more rockets might come, but we're prepared for that. It's not just us. We have a coalition of partners that is also ready to intercept and hold any rockets coming to Israel. And it's for a reason that we have this coalition. It's both countries from outside the region and from inside the region that understand that what is happening is that Iran is attacking Israel, either by rockets or by proxies. It's destabilizing not just the situation in Israel. We're talking about a regional war that has been going on for the past year. Yesterday we marked the 1-year anniversary for the start of the war. And this has been destabilizing this entire region. It's not just us who are under attack. Everyone understands that either the seas are under attack by Yemenis Houthis or in the air where planes can't fly when rockets are being shot by Iran. Hezbollah completely destabilizing both Syria and Lebanon. So there are multiple powers that are trying to attack Israel, all controlled by Iran and defended by a coalition of states that are like-minded in their understanding of the situation of destabilization by the Islamic Republic of Iran.
And Iran is also getting support from some other countries. So how Israel see this situation? Because they are getting support for some other country also. Yeah.
I think their support is not big. They have a small support, a very limited support. Unlike Israel, they're not supported. They might be a bit supported financially or militarily, but they're not supported morally. Iran is a force to be, if we really look at it, at the end of the day, Iran is a failed state with a terrible economy, with a non-functioning army. They have a rocket system in order to shoot at us, but what they really have are proxies. They've been building these proxies for years. This oil and gas-rich nation that could have taken all that money in order to support its citizens and make their lives better has used it all in order to strengthen up proxies all over the Middle East, but not just through the Middle East. We've seen Iran work abroad with terror attacks in Bulgaria, in Argentina. Iran is heavily involved in terror attacks in Lebanon as well, and in Syria. It has become a force of destruction throughout the world using the oil and gas money that it has. That support that Iran, you've been telling me Iran has, it doesn't really have support. It's fighting for its life at the moment because its plans are failing. Hamas has failed in Gaza. Hezbollah is failing in Lebanon. The Houthis are failing in Yemen. All the plans and the infrastructure that they have built for the one day they wanted to destroy Israel are failing.
And sir, Iranian consequences for striking Iranian oil sites. Iranian oil invoices, Israel will face more harmful and painful consequences.
Right. Well, I don't think I'm going to be smart enough to share any information regarding what we will or not do in response to Iran's attack on Israel. But you've seen Iran has boldened itself on April 14th, and now this last couple of weeks, another rocket salvo at Israel. Some of the rockets this time hit civilian areas across Israel and also military sites. Iran has felt emboldened to do this just because it's, as I said, fighting for its life. Fighting because of the understanding that they are losing their assets throughout the Middle East. They're losing the war they have planned with Israel, activating the proxies in order to kill Israelis, in order to capture Israel, in order to capture Israeli towns. It's not working and it's not going to work. They're using their last resorts in order to attack us. We're not going to allow this. Iran should not attack Israel. And I'm going to make it very clear. The Islamic Republic of Iran has no place attacking any other country that hasn't provoked it. These unprovoked attacks will be answered. This we promised.
There's several Muslim to the region. What do you think about what is India, Modi will bring peace to the region for just like he did in Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah, we have a very good relationship with the Indian government, great appreciation on the government level, but also on the people-to-people level. India is an important partner for Israel. We see India as a voice of reason that could act in this region. We'll see. What can I tell you? There are many mediators in the middle, many people who are speaking about what should and should not be done with Iran. I think, first of all, maybe if a message of calm should be transferred to Iran first, a mediation message that will say that Iran should dissolve its proxies, should stop attacking Israel, and stop the rhetoric against Israel, both on the international stage but also internally, that could be a good sign.
Sir, it has been a year of Israel-Hamas war, and with other also there is a continuous support to Israel and Iran from other countries. It is the beginning of war, or where is the end? What do you say? Where is the end for this war? Because people suffering, everybody talking about this. Where is the end?
Yeah. Well, we have several strategic goals that we have to achieve first. We've made it very clear. I'll start with the fact that on the 6th of October, we did not have these goals. On the 6th of October, we were ready to continue living our life. On the 7th of October, we realized that life has come at Israel at full force, with Hamas coming into Israel, killing 1,200 of our citizens and people who are foreigners who were guests of our country, kidnapping 250 Israelis and non-Israelis to Gaza. It was both members of Hamas, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and citizens of Gaza that came because they wanted to make money out of the hostages. This is how this realization of our strategic goals started. On the 8th of October, we were attacked by Hezbollah. At the end of the day, when you look at it all, this has been controlled by Iran from day one. Iran has been training, financing, and telling Hamas and Hezbollah what to do. Since then, we have developed strategic goals. Two for the south and two for the north. For the south, were to decapitate Hamas completely and not allow it to stay in power, bring back all our hostages, the 101 that are still being held in Gaza. Some are dead and some are alive. It makes no difference to us. We want the lives one, of course, back alive, and the deceased ones back to Israel, to have a grave here in Israel next to their families. In the north, we're talking about two other strategic goals. One is to drive Hezbollah from the south of Lebanon, north of the Litani River, as per Resolution 1701 by the United Nations Security Council. And the second one, to bring back the citizens of Israel that are displaced from the north. More than 60,000 citizens have been displaced from the north. Allow them to come back and allow them to feel like they're safe in their homes. Some live right next to the border, and there's no reason for them to be afraid of another 7th of October that will happen to them on that border as well.
And is there any talk also going on to bring back the hostages and other things? Is there any talks with them also?
Unfortunately, for the last several weeks, we haven't seen any talks. Just yesterday, we've heard that the terrorist leader of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar, has contacted the mediators once again, but there weren't any talks for the last several weeks since Israel decided to stop Hezbollah in Lebanon. Sinwar has disappeared. Probably he understands that what happened to Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah terrorist, might happen to him.
Sir, with India growing, how does Israel view the potential expanding collaboration in India in areas such as counter-terrorism and intelligence sharing, given the rise of new security challenges in South Asia in the Middle East?
Well, unfortunately, Israel is now very versed in fighting terrorism. It's not our first day in this fight. It's not India's first day in this fight. We have a lot of knowledge to share between the nations, either in equipment or in intelligence and other fields of knowledge. We're both facing pretty much the same threat, the threat of terrorism, of killing of civilians under this guise of ideology. In our case, radical Islamic ideology, sometimes in India's case as well. We have a lot of cooperation that we can share between the countries, a lot of discussions. It happens on the professional levels. We have delegations coming and going between the countries that share this information. And I think, unfortunately, there is a lot to share after the recent year.
And sir, do you believe a two-state solution is still viable between you and Iran, and what do you think about it?
Well, a two-state solution is something that I don't think was ever off the table, but it's something that we'll need to revisit once this is done, because at the moment there is nothing really that we can talk about. We're in a war. We're in war on multiple fronts, on 7 fronts. We have to achieve our strategic goals in order for any peace to be talked about. At the end of the day, as I told you, on October 6th, that's where we were. We were in peace. We were in a state where there was no war. We want to go back to that state. We want to go back to a state where our children and their children can live in peace. So I don't think there's anything off the table at any time. But the right conditions need to be there in order for the leaders to speak to each other. That's how we've done it, a couple of years ago, well, 4 or 5 years ago, when I would tell you that Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain and Morocco will have a peace agreement, I don't think anyone would have believed it. And we've done it. Peace is possible everywhere. Same thing with other countries in the region. There were conversations regarding Saudi Arabia just before October 7th. Everything is possible. Everything for us is possible. At the end of the day, Israel seeks peace. We understand that only through peace will we have an end of war.
And if you want to give direct message to Hezbollah and terrorists, so what do you want to give?
Well, I think our direct message is quite clear with our soldiers at the front. We're going to hunt every terrorist. The 7th of October for Israelis will never happen again. It is a huge lesson for us, but we're a people with a very long and rich history, and we learn from our mistakes. This mistake will never happen again, not because of these people.